Funding for the Iowa Girls High School Basketball Championships is provided by
The path to greatness starts early. The Iowa Farm Bureau believes in Iowa's youth and their pursuit of greatness. That's why we're proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Each student's effort is important, and when one rises, we all rise to a better Iowa.
Fairway, along with Nabisco. Trumu, Frito-Lay, and Sara Lee is a proud sponsor of the 2016 Iowa Girls High School Sports Championships. We congratulate all the schools and student athletes participating in this year's Girls High School State Basketball Championships. Fairway, proud to care for the places we work and live.
By Musco Lighting, the sports lighting specialist, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.
I am a farmer.
I am a great cook.
I am a small town girl.
I'm a city boy.
I'm a banker.
I'm an Iowa banker.
No matter who you are, there is an Iowa banker who is ready to help you get where you want to go. Iowa Bankers, allowing you to discover the genuine difference of Iowa banks.
Mid-American Energy, diversifying the ways we generate electricity by investing in wind generation capacity in Iowa. Information is available at midamericanenergy.com. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
To downtown Des Moines as we continue a triple header of girls high school hoops, where another pair of Iowa teams have gathered at Wells Fargo Arena searching for a 2016 state championship. There's a lot of enthusiasm from River City to Dutchtown and Pella. Thanks for joining us for our second night of live girls basketball tournament coverage here on statewide Iowa Public Television. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Yeager, and throughout the night, IPTV Sports will continue to bring you highlights, analysis, and features from right here at our on-site sports desk. And we'll make sure to showcase all the pageantry of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Iowa Farm Bureau State Basketball Championships. But first, let's head courtside with Brad Wells and Molly Parrott for their call of the 4A State Championships.
Thank you very much, Paul. Two teams looking to make history tonight for their schools by winning their first ever girls state basketball title. It's the Mason City Mohawks and the Pella Lady Dutch. And good evening, alongside Molly Parrott, I am Brad Wells, and the Mason City Mohawks are battle-tested. They play a lot of 5A schools through the regular season, but the Pella Lady Dutch, they have won 21 straight, and these two teams, the hottest down here in 4A at the state tournament.
Absolutely, Brad. Actually, both of these teams upsetting two higher-ranked opponents in both their quarterfinal games and semifinal games. So ranked 8th and 9th in the last regular season rankings. These two teams, I don't know if anybody would say they expected them to be here, other than maybe the young ladies and the coaches on these two squads.
Let's take a look at a couple ladies that did expect to be here, and we begin with the Pella Lady Dutch and the junior Katie Vandermolen.
Katie Vandermolen's older sister actually played on the 2009 team. That is the last time that Pella was in a state tournament. They were in the championship game, were unable to win that game. So she remembers being here as a spectator, remembers being very disappointed when her sister teams lost. She would like to change the tide.
And for Mason City, the Iowa Hawkeye recruit Mackenzie Meyer averages 18 points per game.
And she is a very talented player. You can see there on the highlights. Likes to take the ball to the hole. Also can shoot it from the outside. We'll hear the Meyer name a lot, not just because of Mackenzie. She's a senior wearing number 10. Her younger sister, number 50, Megan, is just a freshman, also a starter.
Very fun matchup coming up. Let's turn it over to the PA announcer, Joe Hammond.
Basketball tournament. The Iowa Bankers Association presents the Student Athlete Achievement Award to a student athlete who excels on the court, in the classroom, and in their community. The recipient receives a $1,000 scholarship to the college of her choice. The 2016 Student Athlete Achievement Award winner is Kai Madsen from Lewis Central High School in Council Bluffs. Presenting the 2016 award is Mike Keneally from Mid-States Bank in Council Bluffs. Congratulations to Kai Madsen, and thank you to Mike Keneally with Mid-States Bank in Council Bluffs and the Iowa Bankers Association for their sponsorship of this award.
And we take a look at the differences in starting lineups in just a bit. Mason City, 4 seniors. Pella, 3 juniors, 2 sophomores in the starting 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches from each team, beginning with the Pella Dutch. Number 4, Maddie Canfield. Number 20, Chloe Lambert. Number 22, Kara Wickhart. Number 30, Kelly Murphy. Number 34, Erica Bossard. Number 40, Grace Held. Number 44, Ellie Carney. Number 50, Lydia Dingaman. Number 52, Emily Holterhouse. And number 54, Alexa Dingaman. The assistant coaches for Pella are Wade Van Vark, John Holterhouse, Lindsey Brandt, and Joe Van Hemert. And now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Mason City Mohawks. Number 12, Jenny King. Number 14, Katie Bortman. Number 20, Jacqueline Ryer. Number 22, Hannah Factor. Number 24, Abby Reed. Number 30, Kayla Till. Number 32, Kiki O'Neill. Number 40, Bailey Baker. Number 42, Kaylee Anderson. And number 52, Sydney Oliver. The assistant coaches for Mason City are Tom Kirby, Katie Trask, and Brittany Borchard. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for tonight's starting lineups? For Pella, number 10, Annika Pingle. And for Mason City, number 4, Rachel Danielson. For Pella, number 12, Kiara Bradley. And for Mason City, number 10, Mackenzie Meyer. For Pella, number 14, Sierra Bukite. And for Mason City, number 34, Olivia Peterson. For Pella, number 24, Katie Vandermolen. And for Mason City, number 44, Marcy Walters. For Pella, number 32, Chloe Van Vliet. And for Mason City, number 50, Megan Meyer. The head coach for Pella is Jared Garland, and the head coach for Mason City is Kurt Clausen. The floor officials this evening are Dave Schoenrock, Royce Raniger, and Jason Slaughter. Welcome Pella and Mason City to the 2016 Class 4A Championship.
Let's take a look at our keys to the game, and we'll begin with the 23-2 Pella Dutch. And for the Dutch, it's going to start with the defense.
Absolutely. You'll see that Jared Garland, good look at him there. This squad, they play kind of a sagging man-to-man gap defense, meaning they won't get out in passing lanes, but they'll help on drives. They'll scramble out to shooters, also need to handle the pressure. Mason City employed a half-court trapping defense yesterday that was very effective against Keokuk.
Mason City 17-8 on the year. Let's talk about their offense.
They want to play fast. The Mohawks want to get up and down the floor, led by Mackenzie Meyer and Rachel Danielson. But you want to make sure they don't force the action, don't force the situation, because it can lead to turnovers. They had 20 turnovers against Keokuk yesterday. That was a big factor in Keokuk getting back into the game.
All right, for the Pella Lady Dutch, their first trip back to state since 2009, and they are in the state championship game. For Mason City, their 5th trip to state, all of them in the last 6 years. The Mohawks looking for their school's first girls state title here in Class 4A. That is Vandermolen with the ball. Out to Van Vliet. Skip pass up top, deep three, Van Vliet, NBA range, almost goes.
Mason City, 2-3 zone defense that opening possession.
The Mohawks, patient, look at to Mackenzie Meyer a lot. There's her younger sister, Megan Meyer. Now with the three is Danielson, and she can knock down threes in bunches.
One of the things about this Pella Lady Dutch and their sagging defense is that sometimes they have to scramble to get out on shooters because they are quick to help on ball handling.
Three-pointer from the corner, no good for Pingle. And out of bounds, it is going to be Pella basketball.
As we mentioned, Mason City starting out in this 2-3 zone defense. Won't be surprised if they play a lot of this in the game.
A near steal by Danielson, and then commits the foul. Trying to knock the loose ball away from Vandermolen. That's the only points of the game for Mason City. Three-pointer right out of the gates. Pella looking for their first points of the night. And a near turnover, and it's Megan Meyer fighting for the ball, but was on the out-of-bounds line. It'll stay with Pella. Here's a look at Pella head coach Jared Garland, teaches social studies at Pella.
14 years with the program, although just his 7th year as the head coach. Has a tough task in preparing for these Meyer sisters. He said he didn't know if he'd get a lot of sleep last night trying to come up with a game plan.
He's got a 115 win, 44 loss record. Pretty good start to his coaching career in just his first 7 seasons.
Pella was very patient yesterday on the offensive end against a good Marion ball club. That same patience will be important today in trying to dice up this Mason City zone.
Vandermolen, same spot, gets it the second time around. Tied at 3 here in the first quarter.
And knocking down triples from the outside is a pretty easy way to bust up a zone defense.
Katie Vandermolen, she can hit that 3 ball as well. Also loves to drive that basketball. Here Mason City is. Peterson whistled for the travel at the top of the key. And Lady Dutch take over.
Talking with head coach Kurt Clausen from Mason City yesterday, he said, we like to give the girls a few things, and then we just like to get out of their heads and let them play, get out of their way. He has 4 seniors in this starting lineup. Doesn't want to overcoach them, so to speak.
Vandermolen hounded out by half court by that Mason City defense. There's Mackenzie Meyer at the very top of it. Played most of the 4th quarter with 4 fouls. A very aggressive defender. Here on the drive, there's Buchheit, and it's good.
Coach Garland called Sierra steady and heady yesterday in the post-game media room.
Megan Meyer, a very good-looking freshman from Mason City, and her older sister Mackenzie on the drive. Draws the foul. Goes against Buchheit, and 2 free throws coming for Mackenzie Meyer, who's committed to play at Iowa. Here's a look at Kurt Clausen, head coach for Mason City in his 19th season at Mason City, 20th season coaching girls basketball.
Had a couple of previous stops in his head coaching career. As you said, 20 years. That's a long time to be coaching Iowa high school girls basketball. Such a credit to him. He said yesterday, we were 2-19 my first season at Mason City. These last 6 years, they've been to the state tournament. 5 of those 6 years. That's certainly a credit to what he's been able to do with that program.
And success has followed him around in his last coaching position at Cherokee. Helped end a 12-year drought of state tournament appearances. Prior to that was at Atlantic. And then was also an assistant coach at Newell Fonda. Helped that school to its first 2 trips to state underneath head coach Jody Mast. As this year in Class 1A, Newell Fonda made their 12th appearance, lost to the 1A champs Springville earlier this week. So he's been a part of building some good programs, getting some programs starting, has certainly done that here at Mason City. The Mohawks. Walters with a shot from the elbow, and it's good. Marcy Walters, a senior.
Marcy will stay close to home next year. She'll play basketball at Nyack, which is located right there in Mason City.
Bukai kicks to Van Vliet. No good, and the rebound to Megan Meyer.
Mason City will run when they have opportunities off of defensive rebounds.
There's a feed inside, looking for Mackenzie Meyer off the fingertips. And out of bounds it goes. Mason City with some substitutions. Jacqueline Ryer into the game, as is Bailey Baker. As you see, Peterson and Walters check out for the Mohawks.
This dead ball situation, that forced turnover, does allow Mason City an opportunity to set up their full court pressure defense. Doesn't seem to phase the Dutch so far.
Bingle throws it ahead to Bradley, takes it to the rim. Can't finish it. It's Baker with the rebound.
But even if you don't turn them over, sometimes it forces offenses to maybe play a little bit faster. It's a pretty good example there. Pella ends up taking a little bit of a wild shot from the left side.
There's a foul on the rebound as Baker pulled in an offensive board for Mason City. Substitutions coming in. Emily Holterhouse, a 6-foot freshman for Pella, checking in.
Kiara Bradley exits the game with 2 personal fouls. That is tough to handle for Pella. She averages 12.5 points per game, 7 rebounds per game. She has just been a beast on the glass this week. Some other Pella Dutch will have to step up in her absence on the glass.
Mackenzie Meyer for Mason City, another turnover there. Coach Clausen said in the semifinal game she got a little too hyped up early on. See if Meyer settles down. The shot in the lane by Van Vliet is good. Pella ties it at 7 here in the first quarter. Mackenzie Meyer, 5'10" senior, kicks on the shot. Ryer, no good. Offensive rebound to Factor. And Megan Meyer backs it out. Resets the Mohawks offense. On the drive, Factor. Factor on the baseline. Jumper from Baker is good. Bailey Baker. 3 points in the semifinals, scoreless in the quarterfinal round. Pella can't get that to go from Holterhouse. It's Megan Meyer, number 2 on the team in scoring on the season.
And watching Mason City in their first few offensive possessions, you can tell Coach Clausen talked to them about the sagging man for this Pella defense.
Take a look at the Mason City Mohawks getting it going here. The dump to Baker in the lane, and a lot of different people contributing for Mason City.
Well, that sagging man defense for Pella will force your opponent to do some dribble and kick. Nice job by Mason City being very patient on the offensive end with some dribble and kick out rather than trying to get in too deep. Pella is so good at bringing that help defense off penetrations, which will be interesting to watch Mackenzie Meyer. Penetrating all the way to the hole is a big part of her game. Is she really able to get all the way to the hoop today, or does she have to settle for some pull-up jumpers?
We're going to take care of the basketball here initially. 3 turnovers for Mason City in this first quarter. Pella pretty clean with the basketball. But just not getting their shots to fall. Here's Mason City's Mackenzie Meyer. Down to the corner. Danielson wants another 3. No good. Long rebound to Baker. Here's the drive and the contact. Emily Holterhouse, the freshman, whistled for the foul. Holterhouse was playing junior varsity basketball earlier this winter, worked her way into some varsity playing time, and has played well down at the state tournament.
Emily Holterhouse is a heck of a volleyball player for the Dutch. In fact, she didn't even play basketball in 8th grade for Pella Middle School. Jerry Garland wasn't sure if he would have her services available as a freshman. Didn't know if she would go out for the team or not. He's awfully glad that she did. She's a key reserve.
Coach's, I think his word was, quote, a stud in volleyball. Very impressive. for Pella. Looking to get their offense rolling, trailing by 3. Vandermolen wants to tie it up. No good. Rebound to Factor and a foul inside. Goes against Jacqueline Ryer.
Good look at Katie Vandermolen there, right there before the cut to Coach Clausen. Nice player for the Pella Dutch, averages about 14 per contest.
Pella goes inside to Baker. And a push foul. That's going to be 2 now against Emily Holterhouse. The freshman had 6 points yesterday in the semifinal win over Marion, 7 points in their quarterfinal win of second-ranked Lewis Central. Substitution, Van Vliet checks in and Holterhouse is out.
Tough early foul trouble with one of your top starters going to the bench with 2 fouls. Now your top reserve also following suit.
Mason City, Mackenzie Meyer fires a deep 3. How about that?
Can't sag on me all day long. Showing off her versatility.
It's a feed into the lane, and it's all tied up. Possession arrow. We'll give it back to Mason City. Let's take a look at that shot from Mackenzie Meyer. NBA range, dialed in.
She recognizes that Pella's going to make it difficult for her to penetrate. You can knock him down from deep, go for it.
6-point lead. Meyer backs it out. Loves to drive the basketball. Here's a feed inside. Finish not there for Baker. Van Vliet gonna keep going. Spin move in the lane. Gets it to fall.
The lefty finishing with the right.
Chloe Van Vliet, very savvy with the basketball. It's a feed inside. Ryer, shot up. Too easy. Mason City up 6 in the final 30 seconds of this first quarter.
Mason City switching some things up on the defensive end. On some dud balls or made baskets, we've seen them in that full court pressure defense. This last possession backing off into the half court.
Vandermolen backs up. Mackenzie Meyer chases after her. Here's a jumper. Left elbow, no good. Mason City the rebound. Pella comes up with it, but no shot there at the horn. It's Mason City with a 6-point lead. Let's send it up to Paul Yeager.
Good first quarter happening there, but let's find out how these two teams arrived in the state championship. They played in the semifinals on Thursday, and for Mason City, it was a game against Keokuk, the Chiefs from Southeast Iowa. Early on, it was Megan Meyer outside for 3, and then take a look at this move. Crossover left, go to the right, up to the hole, and 2. And her sister Mackenzie Meyer, who already has had a pretty good first quarter in this championship game, gets the shot there, the future Iowa Hawkeye, and the breakaway layup. The Meyer sisters have combined for 37 to put the Mohawks in their first title game. And taking a look at Pella, they played a very good Marion team who had from Eastern Iowa, from the Cedar Rapids area on the north side, and it was the Dutch and the Marion Indians early on. It was Katie Vandermolen. Sound familiar? For 3. Now look at this jump stop in transition pull-up jumper. She'd have 15 in that game. And then Kiara Bradley, the drive, showing some great power into the lane. Drives well. The junior had 13 points and 12 rebounds. Dutch down. Marion 54-48. That's how they got here. Let's go back for the second quarter.
All right, thank you very much, Paul. As you see the bracket for Class 4A, 2-time defending champs Harlan losing in the quarterfinal round. And Molly, we saw a very talented Marion team, freshman, sophomore. That's a tough squad that's going to be back in the next few years.
Well, we mentioned these Pella High and Mason City squads ranked 8th and 9th in the last regular season standings. First day, number 1, Western Dubuque knocked out. Number 2, Lewis Central knocked out. 2-time returning state champs Harlan knocked out, all on day 1.
These two teams have played great basketball this week. Here's Jacqueline Ryer. The interception, looking for the basket. Van Vliet gets whistled for the contact on the wrist.
Not only is Pella in some individual foul trouble, that is the 7th team foul on the Dutch. Turnover is a little bit of a problem early on for Pella.
Nice steal by Ryer. Earns a trip to the free throw line. Substitution, Vandermolen back in. Kiara Bradley checking back in, the 5'10 junior. 2 fouls in the first quarter. Number 12 back in for the Lady Dutch. Second free throw off the rim. And the rebound to Bukai. It's a full court pass. Up ahead to Chloe Lambert. In transition, and Bradley able to contribute. Playing with 2 fouls, comes in an offensive spark.
She is such a smart player. Coach called her a warrior. Actually turned an ankle earlier in the week, and this is her 3rd game playing on that bum ankle. So not only is she tough, but she has to be very smart. Can't pick up a 3rd personal foul in the first half. Absolutely.
Early in the second quarter here. You saw the team foul difference up on your screen as Walters knocks it in. A little turnaround jumper. 17 fouls committed by Pella, just 1 by the Mason City Mohawks. Bukai on the drive. Back to the corner. Pingle for 3. No good. Rebound knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Mason City basketball.
Mason City really switching things up on the defensive end. We've seen some half-court trapping, some full-court trapping. See some full-court man-to-man defense. For Clausen going deep into that bag of defensive tricks tonight.
There's Meyer, wants a 3. Round the rim, no good. Rebound to Bradley. There's a throw ahead. Bukai kicks it out. Now Vandermolen open for a moment. Takes the pull-up jumper and gets it to go. That's the Mason City lead down to 5. Vandermolen with 5 points now for the Lady Dutch.
Good job of getting that defender up in the air, faking that 3-point shot. 1 dribble J, nice, strong, goes up nice and tall.
Mackenzie Meyer, tough shot, really nice drive, but can't get the ball to go through the cylinder as Bradley comes up with another rebound for Pella. The 2-3 zone by Mason City. Lambert hands it off to Bukai.
We'll see how the youth of this Pella team can continue to adjust to the changing defenses for Mason City. This is oftentimes when it's very advantageous to have a veteran point guard who can direct traffic. Katie Vandermolen, apologies there, is a veteran. She's just a junior, but she's a 3-year starter. She'll have to do a good job of getting Pella organized.
There's a foul on the rebound. Marcy Walters, the senior, goes over the back. Substitutions. Mason City coming in with Olivia Peterson, as well as Kayla Till checking into the game. And Emily Holterhouse back in for Pella. So 2 Lady Dutch players with 2 personal fouls, both on the floor here with 5:15 to play in the second quarter. Driving the shot by Pingle. It's a rebound by Peterson. Three from the corner for Meyer, no good. A rebound to Bradley. Vandermolen kicks. Bukai for 3. Off the rim, no good. Meyer with the rebound. And Megan Meyer brings it up. There's the toss ahead to her older sister, Mackenzie.
Mackenzie Meyer, a little bit of foul trouble yesterday in semifinal action against Keokuk. Her freshman sister Megan just filled in so nicely. In the post-game, Mackenzie, older sister, said very complimentary of Megan. Coach Clausen talked a little bit about these 2 young ladies being teammates and how it's been a little bit of an evolution throughout this season.
Couple competitive kids had to adjust from being sisters to being teammates. So they've had some intense practices this year.
I believe so. I have an older brother who's on the basketball team at Co and a younger sister who's 7. So basketball certainly running in the Meyer family.
It certainly does. As a timeout taken by the Pella Lady Dutch. here in the second quarter. Let's take a listen now inside that Pella Lady Dutch huddle with head coach Jared Garland.
Yep. Good job down here, ladies. Good job down here. Keep working, okay? We got a 20-minute halftime coming up, all right? Keep working here. We'll get a rest. Okay, down here, ladies. He may change defenses, but if he doesn't, we feel like once this girl goes out, we got to pin that inside girl. Okay, as soon as the ball goes, find a body and pin. We want to start to get the ball inside a little bit, okay? So let's go for to score, but once she leaves, pin and get a body, okay?
Here, the offensive adjustments there attacking that zone defense.
And Jared Garland can hear from the beginning of that huddle, very encouraging, talking about just 3.5 minutes to go until we get to a 20-minute halftime break. Hang in there. He knows that there's probably some tired legs with some of the foul trouble that they have.
Jared Garland's first trip to state as Pella head coach for Pella. Their 9th trip overall as a school, looking to win their first ever girls state basketball title. Mason City looking to do the same. Yara Bradley on the kick out. There's another turnover by Pella. Mason City on the run. Mackenzie Meyer gets it back in the corner. Guarded by Pingle, and now Megan Meyer will reset. Working on a 5-point lead. 3-pointer from Till. It's good. Kayla Till, a 5'6" junior.
Pella in serious need of some offense.
Trailing by 8. How about that for some offense? Count it, and 1. As Holterhouse will step to the free throw line.
Nice job against the zone defense. The 6-footer, nice and athletic. Goes up strong and is able to finish. Not a lot of emotion on her face. Might still be have a little bit of nerves with the bright lights of the big stage of her first state championship game.
Just a freshman. 6 points in the semifinal game. 7 points in the quarterfinal round. Pretty steady state tournament. Here's Mason City. As Peterson slows it down, now Mackenzie Meyer has it in her hands.
Pella, that last possession, see them with a full court press, trying to do some trapping in the corners. Coach Jared Garland said, you know, we did a lot of pressing throughout the regular season, but we found that once you get to state, it's so hard to do because the ball handlers are so much better at this level. That might be the first time we've seen Pella employ a full court pressure trapping defense in the state tournament.
There's Vandermolen, the jumper good, and Pella's offense starting to get it going now, trailing by just 4. There's Meyer trying to take control. No good on the layup. It's a kick up top. Kiara Bradley, no good. Rebound to Meyer. Here comes the senior. Draws some contact. It'll be a foul on Annika Pingle, the 5'5" sophomore. The team's quickest kid, according to Coach Garland. And has the task, you see her guarding Mackenzie Meyer.
Not an easy defensive assignment, that's for sure. Pella going on a little bit of a mini run here, not surprised that Mackenzie Meyer wants to take the bull by the horns and try to get a couple points back on her own. A very competitive and fiery kid, Coach Clausen said. She just has to let the game come to her. Sometimes, as many dominant players do, she tries to do a little too much at times, just has to play under control. That last possession, probably a little more along the lines of what he'd like to see.
Meyer now with 7 points for Mason City after those 2 free throws. Pella successful trips their last 2 times down. Let's see if they come up with another one. Jumper on the way from Lambert, too strong. Rebound to Meyer. And leading the fast break. Taking it into the lane, draws the contact, and she's back to the free throw line for the Mohawks. 6-point lead for Mason City with Meyer up to the free throw line. Coming up at the half, we sit down with the Iowa girls basketball state champions from 1966. It's the Everly Cattle Feeders. Footage, photos, and memories from Everly 1966 coming up at halftime.
Heard a lot of unique mascots in my day. I don't know that I've come across anything quite like cattle feeders.
Yeah. We'll have to tune in then and catch that package at halftime coming up. 1:23 remains here in the first half. Mason City, an 8-point lead. Pella getting bugged by turnovers here in this second quarter.
Having a hard time figuring out just what Coach Clausen's defense is up to.
Now a foul against Pella, and it'll be Meyer to the free throw line. The double bonus will send Mason City to the line for two.
Pella team, Coach Garland says, plays about 95% man-to-man defense. We'll see if in the second half with some of this foul trouble if he decides that they'll stick with the man-to-man or if maybe they'll need to employ some zone.
Meyer for Mason City into double figures. 11 points. As Pella trying to chip into this 10-point deficit and does so. The three ball from Bukai. Meyer looking to make something happen. Nearly throws it out of bounds. Pella comes away with it. Coming up on the 30-second mark here in the second quarter. Vandermolen backs it out. The basket here would be big going into halftime.
Pella is content to hold for one shot here. Pretty happy to get to the half with anywhere from a 4 to 7 point deficit.
Game clock at 10. Vandermolen backs it out. Fires a deep three. Off the mark. Long rebound and trying the half-court turnaround heave is Chloe Lambert, the junior. But it's Mason City 27, Pella 20 here at halftime. And for Mason City, Mackenzie Meyer started to get it going a little bit more there in that second quarter.
And we saw some nice action with Mackenzie Meyer showing off her versatility, putting the ball on the floor and penetrating, trying to get all the way to the hole, which is tough to do against this Pella defense, but also pulling up from distance, knocking down some free throws. Good job of attacking and getting to that free throw stripe.
For Pella, they had a run in that second quarter, just could not kind of sustain that.
Well, they couldn't really ever get into a rhythm offensively. Kurt Clausen, who we will talk to in a moment, did a great job of putting his team in defensive positions and altering things a little bit, kept Pella on their toes.
All right, let's hear from Coach and send it up to Paul Yeager.
All right, thank you very much. And you took the question right out of my mouth there, Molly. Coach Clausen joins us now for Mason City. And Coach, you're doing a really good job of keeping Pella off balance. What was the strategy coming into this one on doing just that?
Well, we knew they had really good people who could penetrate and get the ball to the basket. They were very good in transition. So we're trying to get back and set up our base defense and then making sure we're getting out on shooters. But obviously you can see they've got great shooters and have hit a couple shots out here as well.
And if you get a little confidence going in a half, anything can happen in that second half. You got pretty good balanced scoring, but Mackenzie Meyer, again, doing the hard work for you.
Yeah, we've just got to make sure we have that. You know, they're going to come and try to take her away even more the second half. So our other people are going to have to be ready to step up and make shots when they're there.
All right, that's Coach Kurt Clausen from Mason City. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
He's been in Atlantic and Cherokee and now Mason City after a stop at Newell Fonda. And so there's a lot of programs involved there. And there's also a lot of programs involved in the history of Iowa basketball. And it's a big night for the ladies. And let's find out more about the 50-year anniversary team and their state title.
To borrow a phrase from the late, great Jim Duncan, the year was 1966. The miniskirt was a fashion phenomenon. The good, the bad, and the ugly was a hit in movie theaters. Batman, starring Adam West, was making its television debut. And the Beach Boys released its masterpiece, Good Vibrations.
Everly in forecourt. Everly in forecourt to Olson. Olson along the baseline. Good. Teams match field goals. Everly in front again, 32-30. Walton to Klett. Back out to Walton again. Here's Walton, bank shot. Good. Mary Jo McClintock. Bank shot is no good. Everly on the rebound. Gronwald fires the ball out. Rolls on the right side. Here's Klett. Klett lays it up good.
A small school with a great nickname in Clay County. A group of girls had big dreams of becoming basketball legends. Those girls were the Cattle Feeders from Everly. In 1963, they came close, only to fall victim to a last-second shot by Guthrie Center in the state semifinals. 2 more trips saw the schools lose to the eventual state champion, but after the 1965 season, the team lost 5 players and their head coach resigned. One returning player, however, was the legendary Hall of Famer Jeanette Olson. Olson teamed with forwards Karen Klett and Judy Walton, and with a scrappy guard court of Sylvia Gronwald, Linda Nordstrom, and Connie Rolls, the team gelled quickly. Coached by a crafty 25-year-old and Larry Johnson, Everly rolled through the opposition. However, if the school had an Achilles heel, it was a strong team from Hartley. Hartley defeated the Cattle Feeders twice in the regular season, and again in sectional play. However, in an era where sectional runners-up advanced to districts, the Cattle Feeders got another shot at Hartley, and behind Jeanette's 50 points, advanced to the state tournament with a 79-76 victory over Hartley in the sub-state final. Everly marched into the state finals to face a strong Lake City team in the championship game. Overcoming a sluggish first half, they rallied in the fourth quarter to defeat Lake City 65-55. The Cattle Feeders, at long last, were the state champions. Everly would return to the state tournament 4 more times, and they lost to Union Witten in 1968 in what many consider to be the greatest girls basketball game ever played in Iowa. However, tonight we honor the 1966 team and the golden anniversary of their state championship. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 1966 Everly Cattle Feeders. Linda Nordstrom Brain, Jeanette Olson Leitz, Connie Rolls, Beverly Winterbore Scrim, and Pat Lorenzen Stanley, and head coach Larry Johnson. Congratulations and welcome back to the state tournament. The Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament pauses every year to honor its rich basketball history with the induction of the latest class of Basketball Hall of Famers. It's estimated that over 700,000 girls have played basketball in Iowa high schools. Out of this impressive number, 225 girls spanning 95 years of girls basketball have been inducted into the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's Basketball Hall of Fame. Now let's meet this year's class of 2016. Tonight's inductee is a product of Iowa's 6-on-6 game, playing at Idell for coaching legend Larry Niemeyer from 1967 to 1970. A forward, she poured in 3,696 points, which at the time ranked 16th on Iowa's all-time list. She was the offensive catalyst for Idell's first ever state qualifying team, averaging 49.3 points a game, and she scored 40 points in the Tigers' first-round state loss, despite having 2 of the team's opposing guards foul out trying to guard her. For the season, she was a first-team All-State selection. In her 4 years, Idell recorded a record of 77 wins with just 13 losses. In addition to her basketball career, she helped Idell win a state cross-country championship. She ran on a record-setting state championship shuttle hurdle relay team and was a 4-year starter on 4 state softball tournament teams. Playing in an era with few opportunities for women to play collegiate athletics, she went on to earn a master's degree in early childhood education, an area she has worked at for over 35 years. She's currently director of the Early Childhood Education Center at Western Washington University in Bellingham, Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome one of the greats from the 6-player era to the IGHSAU Basketball Hall of Fame, from Adele, Pat Ashby. Presenting the award today is Mr. Craig Hill, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Congratulations to our Hall of Fame inductees and the 50-year team. And as we mentioned, it is a big night for the ladies from Everly. The featured 50-year anniversary of their state title. The 1966 Everly Cattle Feeders defeated the only team that had beaten them all season to earn the school's 6th straight trip to the state tournament. The underdog Cattle Feeders never gave up and won the school's only basketball title, 65-55, over Lake City in the 1966 final. We sat down with some of them to relive the magic and background behind one of Iowa's most unique nicknames, the Cattle Feeders.
Well, they had made it to the state tournament 5 years in a row. And of course, nobody wants to be on the losing team, you know, and you were the ones that didn't make it to state. So that was a little incentive.
I would have to say that there was a lot of determination. We had lost 4 starters, and it was like, we're not going to be the team that's not going to go to state.
It was a very quick team, one of the best pressing defensive teams that I watched in all the years that I coached.
Our nickname was so unique. And to this day, I just went on a vacation and I was stuck in an airport and we got to talking and, you're from Iowa? Yeah. And the other gentleman was from Lamar's and he said, well, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Everly, and he comes right back at me, home of the Cattle Feeders.
I guess way back when they had an excellent baseball team. The team needed suits or uniforms. There was a cattle farmer.
This gentleman said he'd buy the uniforms for the baseball team if they would call themselves the Cattle Feeders.
I think because we had been beaten early in the year by quite a number of points, the first game, nobody considered us to be a real threat at state tournament level. And as the games went on, of course, we won, and we won some of them by several points. But it wasn't until the last week of the season that they threw us into number 16. I think they ranked 16 teams at that time because it was a Sweet 16 tournament. So we just barely made it the last notch. We knew we were in for a tough ball game with Lake City.
The championship game between Everly and Lake City, a meeting that has created tremendous interest because of the exciting fashion in which these teams have ridden roughshod down the tournament trail, bowling over favored clubs right and left. 2 underdogs, 2 Cinderella teams meeting for the title.
I knew because of the pressure defense that we played and the type of offense and so forth, the girls really exerted a lot of energy, and that this is going to be their 3rd game in 3 days. And they were very, very tired that first half, and we probably played one of our poorest halves, the first half.
It was an interesting halftime, and we needed to hear some of the things and do the corrections and get our rears in gear and get going.
Walton with the ball. Jeanette Olson. Olson along the baseline. Good. Everly starts to find that range. 39-31. Everly in an 8-point lead.
I think we scored 22 or 23 points the first half. Second half, they come out and scored 41 points or 42. And I mean, they just reached back like they had all year. That perseverance, the determination, not being stopped, not willing to give up. And they played a second half that was just a fantastic half there.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. The game is over. Everly wins the championship of Iowa High School girls basketball for 1966.
Like I always thought, we may not have been the best team when we got down there on Tuesday, but I really felt we were the best team when we left on Saturday. There was nobody that could beat this team.
and the jubilant girls from Everly, who made up their minds they were good enough to win, and they went out and proved it. The cattle feeders withstood the best that anybody could throw at them, and they won. The mark of a true champion.
Fantastic.
Feeling I'd never had before.
You know, like a dream come true. It's always something that, you know, I always wanted to play in a state tournament, and I wanted to come home with a trophy with my teammates. And, you know, it's just, you know, I'm old and decrepit now, but, you know, I have that nice memory, you know. And anytime you have a team, like 6 people on the court, working together for a common goal, and you achieve that, it is a real super, super high.
The fans make the ball game. I've always felt that, and they were there.
They treated us like queens. We were, you know, it was, the fan support was just wonderful.
You're not always going to win, but if you don't put everything out there, then you're never going to know what it is to win. So it's just to give your best in whatever you do.
I learned a great lesson that year in learning never to give up, and this team probably taught it to me. But and all the times and things as life goes on, and the ups and downs and the little tough spots, you just don't give up. You take another step forward, and you just keep trying, because it'll get it done.
We're at halftime. Mason City, the Mohawks, in search of their first state title, lead the Pella Dutch 27-20. The Dutch also searching for their first state title. And let's see how this first one shook out. 27-20 is your halftime score. Early on for the Pella Dutch, it was Katie Vandermolen. She was the one, if you're Coach Clausen, that you got a key on. And right there, she squirts out for a 15-footer. And here she is atop the key. Watch this drive, pull up. Another one from that elbow. Katie, again, she would have 7 points. But Mackenzie Meyer, the future Iowa Hawkeye, she's played with some great teammates, and now she is the one they go to. And this time, it's Danielson for 3, her 3 points of the first half. And now, top of the key, Kayla Till. She would get the friendly fall, and Mason City with a 27-20 lead. And 2 coaches who know these 2 programs pretty well. They spent some late nights looking at them. Keokuk's head coach, Michael Davis, and Marion's head coach, Corby Lobby. And Corey, I'll start with you. You played Pella. And this is a game where Vandermolen's one of those that can beat you in a number of ways. She only has 7 points. Does that give you a little pause for concern if you're trying to stop her because you know she can go for more?
Yeah, she'll continue to stay aggressive. She's one of those players that has no fear. In our game, in the big moments, she had some big baskets when it counted, but she also creates for her teammates. And even Bradley's another girl I see. She had 2 at half, 6 rebounds, but I'd watch for her to do some things in the second half.
So what else do you think? What is Pella doing right in this first half?
Well, they're doing a decent job with the traps and the changing defenses that they're seeing. They attacked early, missed a few easy buckets, but they did get some 3 attempts. I know they got a little bit of foul trouble early, which I think hurt them. The freshman Holterhouse, too, she might have some opportunities in the second half. If she can get herself going, get some easy buckets inside, that might help them as well.
Is it more on ball movement, or is it just confidence in being able to hit some shots?
I think Mason City had them sped up a little bit with their changing defenses and had them hurried a little bit. Maybe rush those shots a little bit. You rush a little bit in the finishes, but if they can just settle in a little bit in their shots, I think they're getting some opportunities. It's just a matter of knocking them down.
All right, Coach Davis, you've seen Mason City. You know them pretty well. Meyer and Meyer again. I know that was probably in your sleep the other night. Mackenzie only 11 points in this first half, but Megan's been held quiet. You think that's a little strategy there?
Well, yes, I think it definitely has to be, because with those 2, if you can slow one down, focus on the other, you have a pretty good chance in the second half to win. But It's a tough task. I mean, they're really polished guards, especially McKenzie. So it'll be a tough task for them. But again, Pella's pretty long. So they'll stop dribble penetration, and they're not going to be able to shoot over them. So it'll be a nice job for them, but it will be a tough task.
What else is Mason City doing right in this first half, Coach?
Well, the ball movement and the moving without the ball, it's so important because Pella is not going to pressure as hard as we tried to pressure him. But their length is that common denominator that they need to help them out. So Mason City, I think, is doing a great job of moving the ball. It's keeping Pella moving also. And so they're going to create nice open shots, but Pella's doing a great job also of keeping them out of the paint. So it'll be a good game the rest of the half.
Neither one of these teams really known for a lot of pressure. Do you think you dial it up here a little bit if you're either one of the coaches?
I would.
You like pressure. I know you like to put that on.
I love pressure, but I think we're a smaller team compared to Pella. I think what they're doing is great, and I think Mason City is going to continue to do what they've been doing, just enough to slow you down and make you work a little bit and hope you make a mistake. So I think they're doing fine.
All right, Coach Lobby, same thing. Do you apply a little pressure?
Time and score will dictate that a little bit, but you got to be careful against Mason City. Like you said, their two guards are so good. You don't want to give up easy baskets and find yourself out of it by doing things you don't normally do. So you got to be careful. You got to go to what your strength is. It's what worked all year. They have a long winning streak. I think you're going to see a little bit of pressure, but the game is still close. 7 points, a whole half to play. You want to play within yourself and do what you do well.
And this halftime is longer than normal. You have a little bit time on both sides to kind of have a little extra thought about what's going on.
Absolutely. You get a little bit more time to make adjustments. These two teams are here for a reason. They got good players. They're well coached. I see it being a great game right down to the end. If you've watched these teams, on film or watched them down here, neither of them are going to quit. And they're both scrappy, and they both play really hard.
All right, that is Coach Corby Lobby from Marion and Coach Michael Davis from Pella. Gentlemen, I know next year you don't want to sit with me. You want to be down there. We'll hopefully see you next year at the tournament.
Hopefully we're playing each other, right, Coach?
Yeah, that's exactly
That'd be a fun dynamic. I'd love to see it.
That would be.
All right, we'll be right back with the second half.
For generations, Market to Market has served as a trusted resource for more than 50 million Americans who live and work in the heartland. Hello, I'm Mike Pearson, and I'm proud to host the Weekly Journal of Rural America. After more than 4 decades, Market to Market continues to provide solid reporting on rural issues and expert analysis of commodity markets that fuel the rural economy. So join us Friday nights at 8 and Sunday afternoons at 12:30 right here on Iowa Public Television.
Mason City leads Pella 27-20 here at halftime. And in River City, the Mohawks, they play in that incredibly tough conference of the CIML. They've got a 17-8 record against all 5A squads, and Kurt Clausen, the head coach of Mason City, is one of those guys who's been through just a ton of things. And we've already talked with head coach Clausen, but it's Jared Garland, as you see him making his way to the court, and they've had that extended halftime. Pella 23-2. They beat Lewis Central in the quarterfinal. They beat Marion in that semifinal, and now he's trying to figure out a way to overcome Mason City. So, Coach, we ask you right now, what are you going to have to do here in the second half?
We got to get the ball out of Meyer's hands a little bit. She got going downhill, and that was one thing that we knew we couldn't do. She's just a great player, and we got to try and get it out of her hands a little bit more.
So Meyer, as you mentioned, get it out of her hands. Are you going to change any, coaches do all those, change a little zone, change a little pressure, maybe dial it up a little bit? Is that one of the things
we make 3 more shots, the game's tied or close, so I don't know if we have to do a whole lot. We'll see.
Yeah, you're having a great strategy so far. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
That's head coach Jared Garland, and I knew he was not going to tell me too much strategy as we talked earlier in the week. So the second half coming your way right now. It's Pella and Mason City. Let's go back downstairs with Brad and Molly.
Thank you very much, Paul. There's a look at your first half statistics. Yeah, adjustments are confidential. You're not giving away any secrets right now.
Yeah, I don't think so. A couple things that stand out, Brad, when you look at the statistics. Mason City, great job of attacking and getting to that free throw line, not only getting there, but converting. 10 of their 27 points coming at that free throw line, largely due to Mackenzie Meyer. She's just 1 of 5 from the field, 8 of 8 at the stripe.
How about this? Maybe Pella just a little more aggressive offensively. Only 1 free throw attempted that entire first half. Mason City, 10 points from the charity stripe.
And I like what Coach Garland said. They need to be who they are. There's 3 baskets away from being a tie game. So really no reason to change your defensive strategy or your game plan all that much. Certainly at some point if things maybe get out of hand or you're kind of in a dire situation, but they're right in this game. Just need to relax a little on the offensive end. Maybe stay away from the foul trouble defensively.
It's the Mason City Mohawks with the first possession of the second half in the white. The Pella Lady Dutch in the green. Mason City with a 7-point halftime lead. Showing some patience here on the opening possession. And now Mackenzie Meyer out to get it up top.
Credit to this Mason City squad. They've been very patient against this sagging Pella man defense. Haven't really forced the issue. Do have 7 turnovers, which is a little bit of an Achilles heel for the Mohawks, but generally speaking, great job of being patient, really working the ball around for a good shot.
Peterson, the offensive foul, taking the charge, Katie Vandermolen.
We'll see what Coach Clausen comes up with on the defensive end here out of the gates. I'm guessing Coach Garland talked quite a bit at the half about all the different things that they've seen defensively out of Mason City and probably every way he wants to attack each of those different defensive lineups.
And off to Bukai, the drive, the finish. An opportunity to get 3 in this possession.
Bukai is kind of sneaky quiet. She's not the type of player you're really going to notice all that much, and I don't mean that with any disrespect, but she just kind of goes out and does her thing. Coach calls her steady and heady, as we mentioned, so she's not going to create a ruckus. She's not going to be pounding her chest or super emotional out there. She just gets the job done, works hard.
How about this? That free throw makes her Pella's leading scorer with 8 points. Mason City basketball. Mackenzie Meyer headed to the University of Iowa next year to play basketball for head coach Lisa Bluter. Here's her younger sister Megan Meyer on the drive and another offensive foul.
You mentioned that Mackenzie Meyer will play very high-level Division I basketball in the Big Ten Conference next year for Lisa Bluter and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Currently, there are already a couple of former Mason City players on other rosters.
That's right.
Maya Melman is a sophomore at Creighton, and Jada Buckley is a redshirt sophomore at Iowa State. So quite the tradition.
All out of Mason City.
For this Mason City squad.
Mackenzie Meyer continuing that tradition, and her younger sister Megan Meyer, number 50. She looks like she could potentially be the next in line for the Mohawks. Here's a pitch ahead for Pella, blocked from behind. And now Meyer on the run out. There's the younger sister, Megan, driving, and a foul on the drive against Vandermolen.
One of the things that was very Pella again with that stingy defense. They aren't going to get out in those passing lanes like we said, but they want to sit back. They are quick to help on those drives. Great job of back-to-back charges being taken.
And Vandermolen taking both of them for the Lady Dutch. Inbounds pass to Meyer, splits the defense. Mackenzie Meyer gets it going inside.
One of the things about this Mason City squad that was fun to hear yesterday in the post-game media room is that they really appreciate and value what Jada Buckley, Maya Melman, those players who came before them have done to really get this Mohawk program up and running. They said, we want to win this for us, but we want to win it for those who came before us, who didn't get an opportunity to play in a championship game, who didn't get an opportunity to win a title.
5th trip to state over the last 6 years. And both the players and head coach Kurt Clausen say it was the early girls. And there's Mackenzie Meyer, another one for the early group of Mason City Mohawks.
Mackenzie Meyer just had the 1 field goal in the first half, and that was a triple from deep. Otherwise, it was all free throws. So far in this second, she's done a nice job of getting to the hole a couple times and converting.
11 points in that first half, now with 15. Mason City, 6-point lead with under 5 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Sierra Bukite in the corner. And a foul against Rachel Danielson, the senior that's headed to Grandview next year. It's whistled on the reach-in. One of 4 seniors in the starting lineup for Mason City.
Megan Meyer, of course, the freshman, the only one who's not a senior in that starting lineup.
Bradley tries the 3 and a foul on the rebound.
A little bit of a change in tide here in the second half as far as team fouls go. First half, Pella with 10 team fouls. Got in quite a bit of individual and team foul trouble. And so far in the second, it's Mason City with 5 fouls. Just 1 for the Pella Lady Dutch.
Shot on the inbounds pass by Bradley, no good. And this time the foul goes against the Lady Dutch as Chloe Van Vliet gets whistled for the contact. Pella now showing a little extended half-court defense. And they'll stay in that here in the half-court set. A dump inside. Ryer was blocked, but the foul called against Bradley. So 2 free throws coming for Jacqueline Ryer.
Mason City, a team that likes to play fast. So when they see pressure defense, I think that they kind of like it a little bit because it allows them to speed up their game a little bit. Of course, the challenge or the danger and maybe being quite so excited about facing some pressure defense is you might tend to speed up, maybe play a little bit more faster than your bodies are capable of doing, which can lead to turnovers. Mason City's been a little turnover prone at times, had 7 in the first half.
And you mentioned it, Coach Garland told us after the semifinal win for Pella, we usually play full court press, but we're not at the state tournament because of the quality of guards. Mason City's got 2 or 3 of them.
And great job by Emily Holterhouse, the freshman, going up and snagging that rebound. You can tell that not only she's tall and has nice leaping ability, but she's got those long limbs. She can get up pretty high.
Pella's inbounds goes up top for Vandermolen. 3 ball, Bukite, no good. The tip out to Vandermolen. She'll shoot the 3. Left it short. Offensive rebound, put back. Pingle's going to the line.
You can already tell Coach Garland must have instilled quite a bit of confidence in his young troops at the break. When we listen into his huddle in the first half, very encouraging, really wants to lift these young women up, and I'm guessing that there was quite a bit of confidence building at the half. You can just tell the folks in green feeling much more confident in this second half.
Pingle makes the first free throw. Checking in is Kayla Till, a 5'6" junior. Played 6 minutes in the quarterfinal round game against Western Dubuque in her state tournament action coming into the championship game. Played in that first half and checks in for the first time here in the second half. Under 4 to go in the third quarter. Mackenzie Meyer is the kick to Ryer. Pass across the lane for Baker and the kick out to nobody, and it's out of bounds.
Nice job by Pella. Again, they're quick to help on those drives, and then they have to scramble out to cover shooters. But I think kind of that frenetic scrambling maybe kind of caught Mason City off guard a little bit. They maybe rushed, hurried it, and it led to that turnover.
Mason City continues with their mixing up their defensive pressure. There's Vandermolen. Goes out towards the corner into a double team. Bradley over to Pingle. Mackenzie Meyer at the top of that Mason City defense. Out to the corner. The dish into the lane, and that's Holterhouse with the finish. And Pella jumps into some full court pressure now. Mason City throws it away. And Pella comes up with the steal.
You can see the speed of the 100-meter specialist, Annika Pingle there.
Bukite, you bet.
The Dutch are fired up. I think there's some football players over there, probably on that state championship team. Good look at Annika Pingle and her speed. That's a 50-50 ball. She actually, I think, maybe came from behind to knock that loose. They kick it ahead to the shooter, Sierra Bukite. Bukite has been kind of a deadly weapon today.
Let's dive into the Pella Lady Dutch huddle. Head coach Jared Garland.
Back for the ball, okay? We can get you. Let's get it 10 in a minute. Rim runners, find a body, pin and seal it. We got it, okay? Defensively, ladies, we're going to be looking for something for 10 right now. So just be really aware. If they set a ball screen for her, we're going to trap it, okay? Trap a ball screen on 10 right now. Everybody got it? Okay. On a miss, let's get the board and run. Don't switch it. Only.
All right, Sierra Bukait's 3 ties the game. She's got 11 points. The first Lady Dutch player into double figures, and they want to keep it rolling.
They do, and game plan on this defensive possession, they're going to try to pick things up a little bit. I think they feel like they've maybe got Mason City rattled a little bit with some of this pressure defense. If and when a ball screen comes for Mackenzie Meyer, they're going to look to trap her. We'll see if Pella's able to execute defensively.
Pella continuing to show that pressure. It's Danielson dribbling out of it, but Vandermolen with the steal. Passes it off to Bukait. Vandermolen's putback draws the foul.
Such a game of momentum. Pella with much better confidence, much greater confidence in this second half, and their defense is starting to lead to their offense a little bit. Some turnovers leading to some easy baskets, also leading to some greater foul trouble for Mason City.
It's 11 turnovers now for the Mohawks. As Marcy Walters, the senior starter, checks back in for Mason City. Vandermolen's free throw, no good. Rebound corralled by Mackenzie Meyer. Quickly to the offensive end, now backs it out. Had 20 points in the semifinal game. 10 points in the quarterfinal round for Mackenzie Meyer. Leads all scorers with 15 so far here, with 2.5 to go in the third quarter. Pella with their first lead since 5-3 early on, and comes away with a defensive rebound to maintain that lead. Vandermolen will dial up Bukait. That one's no good, and the rebound to the freshman Megan Meyer. Under 2 to go in the third quarter.
Monica Pingle doing her best on the defensive end, wearing jersey number 10 in the green. Trying to do all she can to keep Mackenzie Meyer in front of her. Now she wants to make it difficult for her to catch.
Up top, Megan Meyer. Now Lambert. The Pella crowd appreciates the good defense from the Lady Dutch. There's the drive by Ryer and a foul called on the first move.
Mackenzie Meyer over chatting with her head coach. She feels like when she gives the basketball up, and I think she's right, I don't know what her post moves look like, but she has a pretty significant height advantage over her defender, Annika Pingle, who's only 5'5", so probably about a 5-inch difference there. Mackenzie Meyer calling for the basketball on that low block. She wants to try to post her up a little bit.
See her inside. Deep three, Walters, how about that? Mason City back in front.
Nice when your biggest player on the floor can step out and knock out and down a triple.
Here's Bukait, wants the lead back. Holy cow!
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Just trading punches here in the third quarter. And a foul against Pella. Take a look at this three.
Sierra Bukait gets the kick out. She was short on her last one. Gets her legs into that one. Knocks it down, nothing but the strings.
5'9" junior. Had 6 points in the semifinal win over Marion. Hits clutch threes, and it's a big one right there. Tip pass, but Meyer able to handle it for Mason City. On the dribble, fakes the dish. Can't get the layup to go. And it's out of bounds off the Mohawks.
Mackenzie Meyer got exactly what she wanted. Great job with that pass fake. Goes up strong, just can't quite get the roll.
Both teams looking for their school's first state championship in girls basketball.
I would say that if there is pressure on either of these teams, maybe one more so than the other, I'd say it's probably on Mason City. They do have 4 of their 5 starters are seniors.
Absolutely.
Certainly don't want them to press in this situation and maybe try to do too much. Pella kind of has nothing to lose in this situation.
Pella with a 1-point lead. Looks to be waiting for the last shot of this third quarter. We've had a couple buzzer beaters down here at the state tournament. Pella's Vandermolen and Van Vliet have hit one at the horn. Mason City has hit one at the horn as well. Here's Meyer looking for the layup. Gets it to go right in front of the end of the third quarter. Megan Meyer for Mason City. And it's the Mohawks up by 1. We talked about the turnovers by Mason City. Let's take a look at what brought the Lady Dutch back into this after trailing by 7.
Well, Pella is a team that has done a lot of pressing all season long, but not a lot in the state tournament, largely because Coach Garland said the ball handlers at this level are too good. We don't think that we can afford to risk that, but that's kind of been their bread and butter for much of the season. They go back to it. I think their defense has created some offense in this second half. Very confident.
All right, let's go over to the Mason City huddle and check in with head coach Kurt Clausen.
We've got to identify where they are at, okay? If anything, run them off and everybody else be ready to help out on that, okay? We got to make sure we block out. We haven't blocked out very good to set the third quarter. Have not, we fouled too much, okay? Got to make sure we keep people in front of us, okay? Offensively, go back to Denver. Denver, spread it out. If we do some dribble handoffs, they're switching those. Maybe a little fake and then take it to the line. 1 quarter, let's go. We need it right now. Let's go.
1 quarter left indeed. 8 more minutes here in the Class 4A title game. This is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Iowa Farm Bureau State Basketball Championships, the 4A version of the evening.
I love listening in to those coaches in their huddles. For the 4 teams that we've been around in these last few days, it's been such a pleasure to hear how these men have interacted with the young women on their teams, constantly encouraging them, lifting them up. Not a lot of yelling and screaming. Yes, it's intense, but it's always positive encouragement. Love to hear that.
Absolutely. Pella unable to hit. And Mason City working with a 1-point lead. Here's Mackenzie Meyer. You see that spread out offense that we just heard Coach Clausen switching to. Mackenzie Meyer now finds a gap in the defense, drives. On the rebound is Ryer. She'll throw it out. Megan Meyer looking to throw it up top, stolen away by Pella. There's another Lady Dutch steal. Here's the pitch ahead. Pingle, the layup, good.
Pingle is not very big. Coach calls her a bulldog. That's a tiny bulldog, I tell you, but she is feisty out there.
First year playing varsity. How about that? Megan Meyer, it's her first year playing varsity. The freshman.
Fun to see some of these youngsters have such confidence to play their best on the biggest stage.
Sierra Bukai kicks it to the corner to Pingle. Annika Pingle. Bukai off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound. The putback won't go for Holterhouse.
Too easy. She was too close to the hole there.
Mason City holding a 2-point lead. Mackenzie Meyer. There's Megan Meyer. Back to her sister. And a traveling violation. Took an extra step after the catch. And another Mason City turnover. Keeping that window open for Pella, who's had no turnovers here in the second half, playing really clean basketball.
They are. They just had 4 in the first half. Really, the first half, what plagued them on the offensive end is they just weren't confident. They weren't confident shooting the basketball. They weren't confident running their half-court offensive sets. Second half, they're just a lot more confident.
Yeah, a 10-digit or a 10-point margin. 14 turnovers for Mason City, just 4 for Pella. Pella trailing by 2. Pingle dribbles out of the corner. Back to Bradley. 3-pointers off the mark. That's Ryer with the rebound and Mackenzie Meyer. skips to the offensive end, guarded by Pingle. The drive, the shot, and the floater goes. 4-point lead for Mason City. Vandermolen's been quiet in the second half. Van Vliet trying to make some noise. Inside putback for Bradley, no good. And an offensive rebound and a jump ball as Holter House gets tied up. Going for another Pella offensive rebound.
Mackenzie Meyer, Monica Pingle's done a pretty nice job on her all day long, but at some point, the Iowa recruit will probably get hers. Does a good job with that little floater.
You talk about the 5-inch difference in the defensive matchup, a tough matchup for Pingle as Meyer steps back again. Another NBA range three.
She's feeling it. She's feeling that she has 5 minutes left in her high school career.
Mackenzie Meyer, 20 points, and Mason City a 7-point lead with under 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Deep from the Iowa Energy line. Might have had a toe on it, but nonetheless.
Yeah, Steph Curry would still be proud, that is for sure. Mason City 44, Pella 37. Let's dive into the Pella Lady Dutch huddle with head coach Jared Garland.
Our fourth comes back in, and 50, the shooters, okay? If you do not have 4 or 50, when you hear dog, we're gonna go get the ball out of our hands, okay? Everybody else, there's gonna be an open girl. So make sure you know where it is. We're gonna have to scramble once she passes out of it, okay? And then stay on the new girl, okay? Down here, ladies. We're gonna go 4 to score, spread out their zone. This girl is a lot of times open right here, ladies, okay? That high person's open. If we can get it in, turn and face. These girls, I want you cutting down to the basket now. And 4 to score. When it goes middle, cut to the basket, okay?
Ball movement key for Pella on the offensive end.
Well, it sounds like maybe they're going to try to do some different things defensively. Maybe, again, try to catch Mason City off balance, maybe get them to play a little too quickly, maybe get an easy turnover and a basket.
We're going to try and get the basketball out of Mackenzie Meyer's hands. And if they can do that, they're going to see if they can keep Danielson and Megan Meyer away from getting the basketball. Pella down 7, needs a basket. 4:35 to play, fourth quarter. Inside to Holter House. Kick out. Pingle jumper. Good.
It's exactly what Coach Garland drew up. Get the ball into the player in the middle. That's Holter House. She is able to kick to the short corner shooter.
And Pella allowing the ball to be inbounded to Ryer as Pingle knocks it out of bounds. Mason City inbounds from right in front of the Lady Dutch bench.
Seen this Pella defense lead to some easy transition baskets.
Gonna get the ball out of Megan Meyer's hands. There's a near steal as it's knocked out of bounds. Pella really ratcheting up that defense.
Ideally, of course, if you're Mason City, you get the basketball into someone who's a good ball handler, and then you give it right back to Mackenzie Meyer.
Mason City forced to call a timeout. Working with a 5-point lead. Let's go to Mason City head coach Kurt Clausen.
Even if they're in, if they go back to zone, make sure then that if we throw it in, that other person cuts sideline, the next person slides into the middle, so we're in Meg. Okay? Please meet your passes. We're still running away from the pass. Make sure you fake high and pass low. Meet your pass.
Kurt Clausen in his 20th season as head coach. A lot of it, Molly, it's the fundamentals.
Absolutely. Haven't heard a lot of coaches say, please do this. So polite over there, Coach Clausen.
He's got a 5-point lead, keeping the ladies calm. Inbounds pass comes to Hannah Factor. And it's Meyer throwing ahead to Ryer. Mason City, 2-on-1. Walters the finish. Marcy Walters with 9 points now for the Mohawks. Inside to Holter House. Draws a foul. It'll be 2 free throws for Pella. That's the 9th team foul. on Mason City. Let's take a look at that last Mohawk basket, breaking the press.
Break the press pretty easily. They don't get going too fast. Walters with the finish.
First free throw goes for Emily Holterhouse, the 6-foot freshman. Checking in is Rachel Danielson, the senior starting point guard.
Gives Mason City an additional ball handler, assuming that Pella will try to keep some of this pressure on in the backcourt. She does have 4 fouls. That's why she spent some time next to her coach.
5-point lead for Mason City. Ryer hands it off to Meyer. Up top, Walters hit a 3 already. Took a step. She made it, but wave it off.
Shuffles her feet just a little bit before she lets it go.
Top-notch officiating crews for the state championship game. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. 3:30 to go, 4th quarter. Skip pass over to Bukai. The drive, the finish. Offensive foul, wave another basket off.
Walter has been huge in the second half. She had a big triple. She had that basket in transition. There she forces the Pella turnover. Sierra Bukai with the right idea here. She just falls forward ever so slightly on that jump shot.
Bukai commits her 3rd personal foul. Danielson on the dribble for Mason City. Here comes Mackenzie Meyer. Wants to drive, wants to finish. Again, it won't go.
Monica Pingle making life very difficult for Mackenzie Meyer, just trying to keep the basketball out of her hands.
Vandermolen feeds it inside. Holterhouse blocked away. Meyer with the stuff. And Mason City, a big stop with less than 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And a timeout taken as we have a sneaker.
Lost a sneaker
in the lane, and Kiara Bradley, the 5'10" junior.
I don't think anybody on the court, except for Kiara Bradley, knew why the whistle was blown there. Everybody kind of looked around like, okay.
Hurt her ankle in practice earlier this week. You see the pink tape on her right ankle. Get locked into that Nike high top, and then we get her going. 5-point Mason City lead. A back and forth battle. Pella needs one more big push, as they had in the 3rd quarter. Mason City's looking for a basket here.
Monica Pingle face guarding Mackenzie Meyer, keeping the basketball out of her hands.
Mackenzie Meyer with the ball in her hands, backs it out towards the Wells Fargo Arena logo.
And Kurt Clausen says if they're not going to come out and get you, we can stand out here for the next 2 minutes. No shot clock in the high school level in Iowa.
A little weave action, game of keep away. Now a trap in the corner, and a timeout taken by Clausen from the Mason City bench.
Johnny on the spot there with the timeout. Anna Holterhouse was just about to steal it at midcourt.
Danielson dribbled into a tough spot there for Mason City, working on a 5-point lead again. Both teams looking for their school's first ever girls state championship title. 2:05 to go. Mason City a 5-point advantage.
If you're following a dribble and there's a dribble handout, step out and we're going to trap that right there, okay? If you're following a dribble, step out and trap. Other girls, anticipate the next pass, okay? If we have a trap, leave, cheat a little bit, okay? All right, here we go. We need to foul.
All right, green light to get a little more aggressive defensively.
You want to see if they can maybe catch the Mohawks off guard. Maybe pick one off and get an easy bucket.
For the double team, and then for the passing lanes to be challenged here in the final 2 minutes. It's 8th-ranked Pella, 9th-ranked Mason City. The winner, though, the 4A state champion. Mackenzie Meyer, the senior, the future Hawkeye, throws out of trouble. Now up top, it's Danielson.
We'll see if Pella starts to think about fouling. Now at the college level, you've got plenty of time because you have the shot clock on your side. Not the case in high school. Those assistant coaches, you know that they are looking at Mason City's free throw percentages because that sealing the win for Mason City will likely come down to free throws.
A minute 30. Pella still looking for the steal here. At some point, down 5, they got to look to foul, and they do. Bukite commits it up top. That's her 4th personal foul.
Coming into the state tournament, Rachel Danielson, who will be at the line for 1-and-1, shooting 65% at the stripe. The Mohawks 67% as a squad.
First free throw rolls off. Katie Vandermolen throws it ahead, but Bukite was not looking, and Mason City gets it back.
Pella got exactly what they wanted. They fouled the right person. Danielson does them a favor. Blow an opportunity.
So Pella's going to take a full timeout and talk it over. 5 points is the deficit. Mason City looking to hold on to the lead. Here's head coach Kurt Clausen.
Listen, it's over here, okay? It's here. So I want opposite back, so Megan's coming. Marcy is here setting the screen. So you're screening for Megan. Megan's coming to it. Marcy's coming right back. Mac, as soon as you get it, you're coming back and getting the ball.
Hey,
okay?
2 steps and then stay set. Mac, Meg, you got to use that screen. We don't want to move it.
They're coming after you. They're switching if you hand off. So you got to know that. You just got to understand.
Do you think they'll go diamond press? Do you think they'll do that?
They might, but we just got to get the ball in right now. And if they do, we just got to make the pass. Okay, let's go. Meet your passes. Meet your passes.
Meet your passes once again. No please this time at minute 08.
Meet your passes.
Mason City, though, a very unselfish team. 4 seniors in the starting lineup, all have confidence in each other, even the young kids. Everybody comfortable with their teammates handling the basketball, but Mackenzie Meyer, you know she wants that ball in her hands as much as possible. There she gets it at the center circle. Pingle applying the defense. And there's Pingle fouling Megan Meyer, the freshman, sending the freshman to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
74% at the stripe coming into the state tournament. Showed a lot of poise for a freshman yesterday in semifinal action when her big sister was out with foul trouble.
Doesn't go, missing another front end of a 1-and-1. Here's Pingle on the wing to Vandermolen. The drive, kiss off the glass, no good. Rebound to Danielson. Pella needs to foul here with 35 to go. Trying to take the charges. Bradley heads up play there. But Bradley commits the foul, and it's Mackenzie Meyer to the free throw line.
Mackenzie Meyer wants to seal this on her own. She's seen a couple of teammates miss the front end of 1-and-1s. The first half, she was a perfect 8 of 8 at the stripe. Hasn't shot a free throw in the second half. Last of the 1-and-1s. Cool as a cucumber.
Mackenzie Meyer bucks the trend for the Mohawks, gets the first free throw to go. He was one of the players for Mason City that said, we want to win this state title for all those kids before us. Pella needing some quick offense, down 7. Vandermolen. A lot of attention at the three-point line, and there's a steal by Ryer. And Mason City, it's Mackenzie Meyer back to the free throw line. 5th trip to state over the last 6 years. They made it in 2011, 12, 13, and 2015. Lost in the quarterfinal rounds a year ago, in the semifinals in 2013. And now have an 8-point lead here in the championship game with 17 seconds to play.
And it appears that the experience for this Mason City squad is just too much down the stretch.
How about that? A perfect 11 for 11 from the charity stripe for Mackenzie Meyer.
Gamer.
12 for 12.
Lisa Glitter's getting a gamer.
A 9-point lead for Mason City. Vandermolen fires a three, gets it to go, and a timeout taken by Pella. It's a 6-point lead for Mason City. And the Mohawk student section jumping up and down. Here's another look at Vandermolen.
Katie Vandermolen from deep.
Matching Mackenzie Meyer hitting that red 3-point line out there. Here's Pella head coach Jared Garland.
Yep, you're out right now. Yep, you're in. We are in 55, you're on the ball, okay? You gotta get big and huge, okay? Jumping up, going down crazy. Everybody else, we're fronting. You have 10. As soon as they get it in, we got a red, okay? We got a red. Hey, make them throw it over our heads. Make them throw it over our heads, okay? Let's go. All we need is a 5-second call.
Still a 2-possession game for Pella. Hanging on to some hope here. Expect some face guarding, and they want to force Mason City to throw the deep ball over the top. We'll see what kind of arm Danielson has if she does need to jack it deep.
Open for a turnover, possibly that 5-second call that coach said, and there's Mason City calling a timeout. Good defense by Pella right out of the chute. So see if the Mohawks can dial up a play to get that basketball inbounded and try and seal the first state title for Mason City. Here's head coach Kurt Clausen.
Okay. We're running 4 up, go. Okay. So now you're gonna set a screen fake for Mac, throw it deep. Okay. You're throwing it out of bounds. Now you got the big girl on you, so you got to get it out there. You're still coming back hard to the ball. Yes, we'll be able to. Double check the ref, make sure we can run. Make sure we can run the baseline, okay? We still have 1 timeout left, so make sure. Call it if you need it, just come back, make your pass. Let's go.
And they can run the baseline. Less than 10 to go after the made 3 by Katie Vandermolen. So Coach Garland wanted to force them to throw it over their head. Now Clausen says, go ahead, throw it deep. And watch Mackenzie Meyer at the top of your screen. Heading back. She comes down with the basketball, fouled by Pingle. Coach Clausen just about jumped high enough to catch that basketball at the top of its peak on the bounce.
Well, you've essentially got a wide receiver with a 5-inch advantage over the defensive back there. I think I'll probably put my money on Mackenzie Meyer. Nothing against Annika Pingle. She's been excellent defending today, but can't help it if you're 5'5".
First missed free throw of the evening for Mackenzie Meyer, but maybe smelling that victory. Second free throw goes. Up 7. Five seconds to go. Pella with a basketball. Will not get a shot off, and Mason City are your 4A champions. Give Pella a lot of credit, Molly. A great charge in that third quarter, but Mason City really strong in the fourth quarter.
Well, and as we said, I think it was just that experience for Mason City that won out. You have one of the best players in the state in Mackenzie Meyer. She wants to take the ball into her own hands, so to speak, down the stretch, and she's effective doing so. Got to the line, in the first half, got some Pella players in foul trouble. I think it'll be a shocker if she is not the captain of the all-tournament team.
25 points in the title team. It's a pretty safe bet. Some of the Mohawks embrace as they head over to thank their fans.
And not only does Mason City have 4 starters that are seniors, they have 8 seniors on this squad. Kudos to those 8 young ladies for sticking it out and really sticking together in pursuit of a state championship. It paid off.
How about Mason City head coach Kurt Clausen with the state championship? How about we turn it over to the PA announcer, Joe Hammond.
From Pella, Kiara Bradley. From Keokuk, Mackenzie Peasley. From Marion, Chloe Rice. From Pella, Katie Vandermolen. And the captain of the 4A All-Tournament team, from Mason City, Mackenzie Meyer.
Your Iowa Hawkeye with over 1,500 career points, over 500 career rebounds, captain of the 4A All-Tournament team.
Like we said, I don't think anybody in the house is surprised that Mackenzie Meyer is the captain of the All-Tournament team. Nice recognition for both of the Meyer sisters to be standing up there together. And we will not be surprised at all if Vandermolen and Bradley are back for the Pella Lady Dutch 1 year from now.
Quite the honor for the freshman, Megan Meyer, the younger sister of Mackenzie Meyer, setting the bar high. Quite the special moment for those 2 sisters.
Union Board of Directors, Greg Ebling, Greg Thomas, Roger Francis, and Jim Beamer. Your Class 4A runner-up, the Dutch from Pella and Coach Jared Garland. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2016 Class 4A champion, the Mohawks from Mason City and Coach Kurt Clausen.
A state title in their 5th trip to state, all in the last 6 years. Let's send it up to Paul Yeager for a look at some highlights from the 4A title game.
They're rocking and a-rolling in River City tonight and celebrating as well. How'd they get there? It was an exciting ball game, as they all are here on finals night, the 4A championship. Early on, or late in the second quarter, it was Sierra Bukite, well, her 14 points, getting a couple of shots there to keep the Dutch close. In the second half, in fact, the Dutch would come back and tie it a couple of times. The floater in the lane by your all-tournament captain, Mackenzie Meyer. She floated another one, and a 3. She finished with 24 points. Mackenzie Meyer and the Mason City Mohawks, first time in school history, state champions. Let's go back down to the court.
Joined now by Mackenzie Meyer. Congratulations. Is this something that you and your fellow seniors had talked about, culminating your careers in this way?
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, our group of seniors, we have 8 girls, and we all came from the same traveling basketball team, so we've been dreaming about it since we were in 3rd grade.
All right, thanks so much. And Coach, real quickly, what does a player like Mackenzie mean to your program, and also the players that came before her? You talked about that a little bit yesterday.
Well, she's such a hard worker. She's put in so much time on her own. She's been a team player. She doesn't care if she gets all great stats. She just wants to win, and to have her end her career with a state title is just an awesome honor for all of us.
All right, thanks so much. Congratulations to you both. We'll send it back up to Paul.
What now will be one of 2 champions from the CIML, because we're guaranteed in the 5A game to have a champion out of that conference. The Mohawks, they've made that trip down I-35 countless nights for basketball. This time when they get home, they've got hardware. Congratulations to the Mason City Mohawks, but thank you so much for joining us in the second game of girls basketball triple-header here on IPTV Sports. One more game to go in prime time tonight, when we will be back with more interviews, features, and basketball. Tip-off of the 5A championship is coming up next on statewide Iowa Public Television. So long for just a while.
Funding for the Iowa Girls High School Basketball Championships is provided by
The path to greatness starts early. The Iowa Farm Bureau believes in Iowa's youth and their pursuit of greatness. That's why we're proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Each student's effort is important, and when one rises, we all rise to a better Iowa.
Fairway, along with Nabisco, Trumu, Frito-Lay, and Sara Lee, is a proud sponsor of the 2016 Iowa Girls High School Sports Championships. We congratulate all the schools and student athletes participating in this year's Girls High School State Basketball Championships. Fairway, proud to care for the places we work and live.
By Musco Lighting, the sports lighting specialist, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.
I am a farmer.
I am a great cook.
I am a small town girl.
I'm a city boy.
I'm a banker.
I'm an Iowa banker.
No matter who you are, there is an Iowa banker who is ready to help you get where you want to go. Iowa Bankers, allowing you to discover the genuine difference of Iowa banks.
Mid-American Energy, diversifying the ways we generate electricity by investing in wind generation capacity in Iowa. Information is available at midamericanenergy.com. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.